everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Reagan, and I'm here with Sridevi. We're both BCBAs with the Artemis ABA team. So if you're an Artemis customer, then we may look familiar to you. Um, Today, we'll give you a quick overview of how Artemis integrates VB-MAPP directly in our platform without needing to log into different systems or kind of transfer back and forth between paper and the computer for the VB-MAPP assessment. And then this kind of gives you the Artemis and VB-MAPP all in one place. So if you are an Artemis user, more interested in Artemis, and you use the VB-MAPP assessment, then you're in the right place. So stick with us for the next 10 minutes or so. And towards the end, we'll do our best to answer your questions. So feel free to add any questions in the chat, and we'll get to it towards the end. So let me go ahead and show you the VB-MAPP in Artemis. This is our client intervention plan space. So this is where we do all of our clinical programming for your client. And if you're a BCBA using Artemis, you're very familiar with this space already. But if your practice has opted to use the VB-MAPP integration, then you will find that under the Assessment Tool tab here. And this is where you can have that direct sign-in to VB-MAPP. And just a note that you'll have a VB-MAPP admin for your practice. And this is the person that's in charge of enrolling clients or learners for you, granting your providers access, and then linking those providers and those clients. So let me go into the VB-MAPP. And this is where I can see the client list, those clients that I'm linked to that have the VB-MAPP assessment started for them. And so I can click into my learner and get a quick overview of the previous assessments that I have done, any current in progress assessments, and then the time frame that I have access to this assessment. So whenever you activate or subscribe to the assessment for this learner, you'll get access for an entire year. So you can possibly do two or more assessments like in that time period. And then you can continue after that, keeping the old assessments on file if you want to resubscribe and go for another year or more. So if you are starting a new assessment, you'll click the Add New Assessment button. But I'm going into an already existing assessment, so I'll go into the Score button here. And this is where I can see an overview for my client. And so I can see how much of the assessments I've completed here, as well as some highlights. So I have, as I've scored my assessment, I can see the progress compared to the last authorization, some highlighted skills and for those milestones here. So in this milestone space, this is where I can run the milestone assessment. I can choose the skill area to start, and then it's all organized by level within that skill area. And I can see my total scores for my previous assessments and the current assessment as well. And it's all separated by levels. And this is where I can see the specific skill that I'm assessing. I can watch a video tutorial on how to run this assessment or score the assessment. I can look at the written guide for the assessment as well. I can also add in any knowns to kind of keep track of what they have already been scored on in this section. And then also any notes I want to add, I can do that here as well. And then you just click to score the assessment. So um, just it'll give you a description of how to score it. And say you're kind of transferring from the book, the paper into this VB-MAPP app system. I can go ahead and score this whole level if I know they've already mastered this part out and continue from there. So it's easier to kind of easily transition over instead of having to score each separate section. Similarly, for the other assessments, we have the barriers, transitions, ESA, and task analysis. So these also have video guides, a place that you can add notes, and then also written guides as well. And this additionally to all the other assessment types, when you score it here, it automatically fills out the score grid. And I'll show you examples of the score grid in the next section. If you're familiar with the book, the VB-MAPP protocol book, then all of this information is here as well. So you can access this, what you're familiar with, and all these little objective materials examples are also in the guides per skill in the section above when you're scoring. And then I will show you the score grid. So this is automatically filled out based off how you scored the assessment up in these earlier sections that I showed. I can see the progress across assessments using the color coding system and the dates associated with those. And this is an example of my client's VB-MAPP assessment, a sample client. Um, and then I have an option here to download the PDF as well. In the same similar score grid generation for these other types of assessments within VB-MAPP as well. And then at the end, I have the IEP report, which gives me a downloadable Word document that kind of has the summarization of the scores and progress, as well as some suggested goals based off of how the client scored on the assessment. So this is the VB-MAPP app side of the integration, and then now I'll show you back in Artemis what we do with this information there. So we're back in the client intervention plan, that programming space. And this is where we can go to the assessment tab. So this is a place that you can add in your treatment plans. If you're using them within Artemis, you can either screenshot those score grids and those assessment results, or you can download the PDF and submit them along with your treatment plan when you're submitting them. But you can kind of include those in your assessment materials that you're sending off. And then lastly, the plan part of it is where you're adding in those client programming. So I've identified the goals that I want to target for my client, and I can either add in those goals from scratch, just using the plus icons or adding a new domain completely with the new button. Or I can use the VB-MAPP Goal Bank, which we are offering alongside this VB-MAPP integration. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you just click Add from Goal Bank, and this will pull up a list of domain skills and targets that we've built out to kind of align with the VB-MAPP programming. And if I have a skill that I want to target, I can expand to see within each of these domains, and I can pick and choose some of our sample targets that we have built out for you. Or I can choose to add in an entire skill, so all three of these targets at once, just with one click by clicking at the skill level as well. Then you will click Add to Intervention Plan, and it gets added at the bottom directly into your intervention plan. So saving a lot of time building out these programmings. We already have built out in these sample targets. We have the skill instructions, target instructions, response types directly built out in the system to help you. And then you can just edit and individualize it to your client whenever you're kind of activating these programs to be used for data collections, but it's all right here for you in the system. Then otherwise, if you are interested in using VB-MAPP directly in Artemis, please reach out to our customer support team. If you're like, you can go to the website, or if you're an Artemis customer already, then you can go directly to the support tab within the community, and you can join the Zoom room or email customer support, and we'll be able to get you set up and get you started with the VB-MAPP in Artemis. Thank you all for joining. I hope you have a great day.